All right, so this is the third lesson from Elements of Style. Okay, we've gone over the first two. This is the third one, and we're going to spend two different lessons on it. Okay, because it is, although the sentence here is very short. Okay, it's complex in applying it. Okay, so this lesson is enclosed parenthetic expressions between commas. So what does that mean? Well, let's talk first about this this big word here, parenthetic. Okay. You probably recognize that the root of the word parenthetic is parentheses, right? And when we use parentheses in our language, we often are adding something in to the basic information that's already there, right? It's like a supplement to your diet. It's a supplement to the sentence, okay? You're adding something else in which isn't in the main message, okay? So a parenthetic expression doesn't use parentheses, but it is parenthetic in the sense that you could potentially put commas around it to set it off from the main message of the sentence. Okay, so don't think of it as a parenthetic expression uses parentheses. It's an expression that has that type of characteristic. It is parenthetic in its nature. Okay, between commas. Okay, and I want to emphasize too that it's always going to be two commas if it's in the middle of the sentence. If it begins a sentence or ends, it could be just one. Most of the time, it'll be two. Okay. So let's look at just one example, all right? For example, if I took the sentence, my brother you will be, let's say, pleased to hear is in perfect health, okay? So that's obviously a complete sentence, right? Let's read it and see if we can tell just by hearing it where the commas would go, right? My brother, who's in perfect health, my brother, you will be pleased to hear, is in perfect health, right? Or my brother, I could make it even more obvious, my brother, you will be pleased to hear, is in perfect health. Right? So when we hear it, we get the rhythm of the sentence, right? And then we can kind of figure out, yeah, you probably need commas to set off the part of the sentence that isn't the main clause, right? And that's basically what you have there, right? So in between brother and you have a comma, and here and is, you have a comma, okay? Now, a lot of times, you have to decide for yourselves when you write, does this need commas? Is it a big enough interruption in the sentence to warrant commas? Because sometimes it might not be. In this case, it is, right? Because what you have is essentially, my brother is the subject, right? Brother is the subject of the sentence. If I ask you what the verb is, it's on the complete other side of this interruption, is, right? And so because of that interruption, because it's such a noticeable interruption, you would close it off with commas, okay? And that's what we mean by a parenthetic expression, okay? Now next week we'll get a little more scientific than just saying, what do you think it should have? There's actually a way to look at it, and we'll get into that. But for now, just know that what I wanted you to understand is that when you read it out loud, you probably are able to kind of hear, okay, that's a big enough interruption to need commas, right? And understand that it's adding information to the main clause, okay? So it comes back to that rule. Enclose parenthetic expressions between commas.